All right, Cody, in Heat 1, I've just got two swimmers. In lane 4, Francisco Lopez swims with Wisconsin Masters. And Frank Williams from San Diego Swim Masters is in lane 5.
Taking a look over on the even end is Heat 2. In lane 2, Ron Sachs from New Albany. Lane 3, Bradley Price from Longhorn. Lane 4, Mark Vingo from Arizona. Lane 5, Ron Weaver from Sierra Nevada. Lane 6, Dave Smith from Illinois. Lane 7, Richard Burns from Tamaulipas Aquatic Masters. Lane 8, Richard Abrams from Rocky Mountain. Lane 9, Robertus Vanderwidge from Lone Star. And in lane 10, William Burson from Rocky Mountain.
And Cody, for those that are looking for a light snack, something to drink this morning, in the upper northeast corner in the second deck there, we have a concession stand that's being run by our host club team, Alamo Area Concessions. Be great if you can help them out, give back to a local club. Go on up and say hello.
Yeah, they have some. Yesterday they had some breakfast tacos up there, but they got some beverages, some snacks. My favorite, they got dill pickles up there. So be sure to stop by, say hello to the Northside Aquatic Booster Club. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also still in need of a few timers. Right now I'm being told lanes 9 and 10 on the odd end, as well as 1 to 2 lanes on the even side. Also, be sure, coaches, stop on out to the registration table. Make sure you pick up your relay cards. You don't want to be calling teams out towards the end of the day.
In Heat 1, Frank Williams finished with a time of 3:10.10. Congratulations, Frank. And he swims with San Diego Masters. Relay cards for this morning's events can be picked up at the registration table just inside the front gate where you came in this morning. All relay cards can be picked up there, and that will be the location this weekend for all relay card pickups.
Taking the first place finish over on the odd side, or even side, with a time of 2:25.91 is going to be Richard Burns, representing Tamaulipas Aquatics Masters.
All right. Nice job, Francisco.
Are we good with timers?
In the odd pool heat 3, from Michigan Masters in lane 2 is Gard Arneson. In 3, Bob Couch from Sarasota Sharks. Also from Sarasota Sharks is Lee Childs. Chuck Olson is in 5 from Michigan Masters. In lane 6, Alan Bernard from Tamalpais. In 7, Alan Bell from Puget Sound. 8, Edward Rudloff, the Olympic Club. And 9, Gordon Russell from Pegasus Aquatics. And in lane 10, Wayne Helm, Minnesota Masters.
Taking a look over on heat number 4 in lane 1, Greg Rust from Austin Area Racing Group. Lane 2, Tom Wiseman from Nashville. Lane 3, Richard Vale from Patriot Swim Team. Lane 4, Jim Alkery from Pegasus. Lane 5, Steve Wright from Michigan Masters. Lane 6, Douglas Burgess from Mercy Healthplex. Lane 7, Michael O'Donohue from Excel Swimming. Lane 8, Tom Phipps from Oregon Masters. And in lane 9, Alan Kosovi from MOVY.
How far back do you want it? Here or?
We need a timer in lane 9 odd end.
We're in need of a timer for lane 9 on the odd end. If we get someone to come on down and help us out. A timer for lane 9 on the odd end.
Here's another one. I don't know if you have him. Last name is Sieh, and it's pronounced Shay. It's an Asian. It said there's 3 of them.
Taking first on the even side with a time of 2:20.65, representing Excel Swimming, is going to be Michael O'Donohue.
In lane 1 of heat 5, Brian Voisard from Sarasota Sharks. Barry Mandel in 2 from Wisconsin. 3, Dean Foscio from Wisconsin. 4, Phil Dodson from Illinois Masters. In 5, Richard Bauman from New England. In 6, Dick Worrell from Longhorn Aquatics. Also from Longhorn in 7 is Larry Wood. Larry Krauser in 8 from Spokane. From Mercy Healthplex, Gary Colton in 9, and Patrick Harrington in lane 10 from Memorial.
On the even side in lane 1, Dan Sheehan from Spokane. Lane 2, David Johnson from the Maroon Dogs. Lane 3, Mike Keek from the Olympic Club. Lane 4, Maxwell Stinchcombe from Longhorn Aquatics. Lane 5, Mike Phillips, Ensworth Aquatics. Lane 6, Stephen Fusler from Alamo area. Lane 7, Greg Joseph from Lone Star. Lane 8, Mark Richards from Swim Fort Lauderdale. Lane 9, Heinz Hercher from the Claremont Club. And in lane 10, William Lawson III from North Carolina.
In lane 5, from heat 5 in the odd lane, Richard Bauman from New England with a time of 2:04.20.
Very close race on the even side, but coming into the wall first with a time of 2:15.57. Representing Longhorn Aquatics, Maxwell Stinchcomb.
Heat 7, I have Nick Merrill in 1, Michael Ham in 2, Jim Callahan in 3, Guy Davis in 4. In 5, Craig Peterson. Greg Meek is in 6. Jay Lee is in 7. Mark Collins 8. Peter Hollett in 9. And Glenn Whiston in 10.
For heat 8 on the even side, lane 1, Paul Gretsch. Lane 2, John Herbert. Lane 3, Bill Elizondo. Lane 4, George Pasmino. Lane 5, Patrick Devlin. Lane 6, Jerry Lurdigan. Lane 7, David Murray. Lane 8, John Keene. Lane 9, James Kalki. We are also being told that we're still in need of some timers.
Pretty even race here in Heat 7. And first to the wall is Guy Davis from Longmont, Colorado Masters. Time of 2:06.94.
taking first for the even side with a time of 2:16.16 out of lane 4, representing Rocky Mountain, George Pismino.
In Heat 9, Lane 1, Chris Cameraman. In 2, Russell Hubbard. Michael Moreland is in 3. John Sutter is in 4. George Johnson in 5. John Apker in 6. Victor Sternby in 7. Roy O'Neill in 8. Albert DePrezitio is in 9. And Peter Haynes is in 10. And Cody, I want to have a special shout out to a family friend in lane 3 in Heat 8, Bill Elizondo. Welcome back home, Bill.
In lane 10, Heat 10, lane 1, David McCartney. Lane 2, Charlie Matthews. Lane 3, David Groothouse. Lane 4, Robert Frappa. Lane 5, Robert Serzwinski. Lane 6, Joseph Lakis. Lane 7, John Davis. Lane 8, Tim Blackwood. Lane 9, Carl Edgerton. And in lane 10, Mitch Perry. I love the banter between the folks in the stands and the athletes.
Chris, is that you in lane 1? Looks like your fans want to help you up on the block. In lane 1, Chris Burnbridge from New Albany Aquatics. Mike Wise is in 2. Andy Rule from Connecticut in 3. Andy Cook in 4. Fred Schuster in 5. In 6, Rick Van Dyke. In 7, Carlo Trevani. Jeff Irwin is in 8. James Fisher in 9. And James Wise in 10.
Coming in first place for heat number 10 with a time of 2:02.14, representing the Rolls Bowl Masters, is Charlie Matthews. Looking at Heat 12, in lane 1, Brad Von Rieden. Lane 2, Edward Brennan. Lane 3, Kurt Kelling. Lane 4, Scott Adams. Lane 5, Stephen Powell. Lane 6, Douglas Musler. Lane 7, Don Appleby. Lane 8, David Scott. Lane 9, Ed Coates. And in lane 10, Paul Sutter.
In lane 5, Fred Schuster from Phoenix Swim Club. In the odd lane, the odd pool with a time of 1:55.13. For heat 13, in lane 1, Norman Scourge. In 3, Randy Howe. In 5, Doug O'Brien. In 7, David Kays. James Luby is in 8, Marshall Campbell in 9, and Mark Rubacki is in lane 10.
Taking the win for heat number 12 with a time of 2:02.44, representing Rocky Mountain, Douglas Monsteller. For heat 14 in lane 1, Matt Keller. Lane 2, Rob Nasser. Lane 3, Vic Perini. Lane 4, Richard Patino. Lane 5, Stephen Unruh. Lane 6, Matt Negrin. Lane 7, Kurt Dixon. Lane 8, Bob Baldici. Lane 9, Lawrence Lee. And in lane 10, Curtis Jenkins.
In lane 5, Douglas O'Brien from New England Masters with a time of 1:57.40. Nice swim, gentlemen. In heat 15, I have James Fleetwood from Tulsa Masters in 3, Michael Gustafson from Nashville in 4, Michael Buys from South Davis in 5. In 6, Abel Lopez from UC 16. And in lane 8, Robert Patrick from Longhorn.
Taking the win for heat number 14 with a time of 1:53.68, representing Nitro Swimming, Stephen Unruh. Taking the dive is heat 16 with lane 1 being Dale Gaines, lane 2 Mark Glass, lane 3 Kevin Kikries, lane 4 Jay Lay, lane 5 Brian Miller, lane 6 Scott Hemke, lane 7 Chris Courtney, lane 8 Kerry Sievert, lane 9 Christopher Colburn, and in lane 10 Byron Severson.
In lane 5, that's Michael Buys from South Davis Masters with a time of 1:57.81. Nice swim. In lane 1, heat 17, I have Matthew Langley. In 2, David Andre. In 3, Edward Tiazzo. In 4, Ron Orris. Don Secor is in 5. Jens Christensen is in 6. Benjamin Reed in 7. George Pinal in 8. Chris Daniak in 9. And Carl Konopke in 10.
Taking the win for heat number 16 with a time of 2:06.05, representing the Lone Star Masters, Scott Hemke.
We've got Ron and Don battling it out in 5 and 6 in the odd pool. Ron and Don.
For heat 18 in lane 1, Brian Goldberg. Lane 2, George Qualley. Lane 3, Mark Morrison. Lane 4, Jonathan Matthews. Lane 5, Andrew Babcock. Lane 6, David Kraft. Lane 7, Tracy Wright. Lane 8, Martin Torres. Lane 9, Shane Stetter. And in lane 10, Aaron Hawkins.
Don Secor in lane 5 from Illinois Masters with a time of 1:51.75. Nice race, guys. This is Heat.
Taking first place for Heat 18 with a time of 149.62, representing Wisconsin Masters, Andrew Babcock.
Heat 19. In lane 2, Jeremiah Stanton. Austin Fraser is in 3. Nathan Posey in 4. Stephen Kernion in 5. Braden Orr is in 6. Alex Shea is in 7. Jimmy Hong in 8. And Ali Akarati in 9.
Yesterday, they kept. Thank you.
We're in need of a relief timer for lane 8. On the odd end, once again, we're in need of a relief timer for lane 8 on the odd end. There's still 22 teams out there that need to stop at the registration table, see Miss Barbie, and pick up their relay cards. In the meantime, Heat 20 dives into the water with lane 1 being Mark Beard, lane 2 Kurt Havens, lane 3 Frank Muncha, lane 4 Billy Reinhart, lane 5 Rangelo Dominguez, lane 6 Adam Patel, lane 7 Braden Clark Griffin, lane 8 Adam Brown, lane 9 Dustin Pfluger, and in lane 10 Bean Weaver.
In lane 2, Jeremiah Stanton from Rio Grande Swim Club with a time of 2:09.02 from Heat 19. Nice swim, gentlemen. Heat 21, Tim Tully in 1, Jeff Pierce in 2, Benjamin Travelstead in 3, Renato Ferreira in 4, Juan Valdivieso in 5, Felipe Maia in 6, Joseph Anderson 7, Matthew McGillicuddy in 8, Trent Chino in 9, and Mike Balestra in 10.
Putting everything he had to finish it out and overtake the leader throughout the race is going to be Billy Reinhart from the Olympic Club, coming in with a final time of 155.22.
And first to the wall is Benjamin Travelstead from New Mexico Masters with a time of 145.97. Nice swim, guys.
Swimming on the far side in lane 1 Bonifeco Contreras. Lane 2, Adam Johnson. Lane 3, Siha Young. Lane 4, Aaron Osleski. Lane 5, Dustin Schneider. Lane 6, Robert Frawley. Lane 7, Ross Hartley. Lane 8, Cody Harvey. Lane 9, Nicolo Toretto. And in lane 10, Rob Duguay.
Heat 23, Sean Chalice in 1, Jeff Engie in 2, Bobby Savulich in 3, Peter Klein in 4, Drew Modrov in 5, Kyle Green in 6, Daniel Wall in 7, Jackson Wang in 8, Chris Conroy in 9, and Chase Mesford in 10.
Taking the win for heat number 22 with a time of 1:53.84, representing Georgia Masters, Dustin Schneider.
The record in this event for this age group is 136.56, held by Josh Davis. We have a seed time from Drew, 139.7. Let's see what can happen here.
Where can I find you, please?
'24 dives into the water with lane 1 being Anthony Garrity, lane 2 David Patterson, lane 3 Mackie McLaughlin, lane 4 Elliot Belcher, lane 5 Eric Mueller, lane 6 Morgan Fatora, lane 7 Anton Tran, lane 8 Patrick Murphy, lane 9 Rob Roll, and in lane 10 Justin Rowland.
In lane 5, the great swim, Drew Modrov from Agua Masters. Just off the record. Great swim. Heat 25 in the odd pool. In 1, Matthew Thompson. In 2, Sam Tierney. 3, Matthew Nephew. In 4 is McKay King. Paul Mark Schweitzer is in 5. Adil Aswab is in 6. Keeler Callahan 7. Griffin Schumacher in 8. William Hartgee in 9. And Yael Garnica is in 10.
Taking the win for heat number 24 with a time of 1:51.76, representing Sockwell Swim Club, Patrick Murphy. Heat 26 takes the leap into the water with lane 1 being Timothy Phillips, lane 2 Brian Hogan, lane 3 past Olympian Anton Ispin, lane 4 Austin Quinn, lane 5 Lucas Baru, lane 6 Tom Kramer, lane 7 Daniel Miller, lane 8 Jack Prito, lane 9 Thomas Legsinger, and in lane 10 Andrew Dazuki.
And swimming for New York Athletic Club in lane 1 was Matthew Thompson with a time of 1:43.97. Nicely done, gentlemen.
The correct second swimmer is Steven Fernandez.
Heat 27, lane 1 is Logan Wintermute. In 2, Jeremiah Nicoloso. In 3, Justin Chu. In 4, Zach Hingston. 5 is Nicholas Yang. In 6 is Andrew Stublin. Luke Klinman is in 7. Brian Stroyinski is in 8. Luke Daly in 9. And Adrian Pettis in lane 10.
Thank you. No, I can't find Jackie anywhere. I've been back here twice.
Taking the win for Heat number 26 with a time of 1:38.30, representing Club Tribe, Lucas Baru.
Winning Heat 27 is Andrew Stublin, all the way from Alaska. Alaska Masters Swimming.
For Heat 28 in lane 1, Matthias Altman-Kruski. Lane 2, Avery Turner. Lane 3, Micah Murdoch. Lane 4, John Klotsky. Lane 5, Eric Steinman. Lane 6, Steve Folick. Lane 7, Christopher Flynn. Lane 8, Nathaniel Hubthel. Lane 9, Matthew Eckerson. And in lane 10, Riley Bond.
Nice swim, gentlemen. Heat 29. Heat 29, lane 1, James Porkanowski. In 2, Carter Jacobson. Eric Livingston is in 3. Max Irwin in 4. Murphy McQuett in 5. In 6 is David Murphy. Carl Sawyer is in 7. Tyler Clawitter in 8. Nicholas Geronis in 9. And Daniel Galarza in 10.
Taking the win for Heat number 28 with a time of 1:46.25. Out of Cedar Flames, Steve Follick. Heat 30 dives into the water with lane 2 being Jack Nystrom, lane 3 Armad Maikad, lane 4 Camilo Alvarez, lane 5 Matthew Cooley, lane 6 Matthew Yuffie, lane 7
And
Luke
lane-
Kelly, lane 8 Casey McQueen, and lane 9 Jonathan Taylor.
In lane 5, Murphy McQuett from the Olympic Club with a time of 1:40.16. Nice race, gentlemen.
Scott, I feel like at some point we're going to start sounding like the auctioneers.
Heat 31 in lane 2, Nihar Vidhanala. In 3, Fernando Andres Martin. In 4, Kevin Kennedy. Danila Erzakov in 5. In 6, Colin Sparger. 7, Michael Owen. Chris Johnson is in 8. Michael Ryan in 9. And Joseph Frankovich is in 10.
There's some color. You can read through it. My name is Lynn Morrison. I'll be in 3.
Taking the win for heat number 30
Months ago, I fell through the ceiling for 17 months.
with a time of 1:56.06, representing Team Walker, Matthew Cooley.
Because if I was strong, because I was a USMS swimmer, and I have multiple support from my United States Masters. Not ours. It'll be 3 minutes. It's a women's 200.
In lane 5, Danila Erzakov. Hopefully pronounced that right, from Longhorn Aquatics. Time of 1:43.16.